Guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you are doing great. If you are new, my name is Lizzie. So today I bring the gist for you, so let's dive into it together.
Peace. A white person asking a black person in a post-colonial white power structure if everything's got to be about race is like fish asking mammals in the ocean if everything's got to be about water. It's easy for the fish to ignore and even be annoyed by the mammal's need for air because their environment caters to the makeup and survival of the fish. The United States was established as a colony by colonizers, and colonialism by way of newly minted white people birthed race and racism. Race is the apple of America's eye, baked into the American Dutch pie. You see, black people don't have to imagine what it's like to be in an environment where we can't breathe, and our cries of "I can't breathe" are met with "I can breathe" by those for whom our environment is designed for their makeup and survival. Yes, everything is about race, because that's the pie that you baked. Now eat it. We out here.
If Africa does wrong, does bad, the whole planet goes wrong. Because it's the richest continent on the planet. Without the resources of Africa, you won't even have France. You won't have Belgium. You won't have Europe, period. You won't have America, because we built American economy. Our ancestors, my ancestors, Africans, your ancestors built the wealth of the rich country today.
Hi, my name is Sparrow, and welcome to the first day of Our Black Poets. Today we're going to talk about Phyllis Wheatley Peters, nicknamed the African Genius. She is the first American slave of African descent to have published a book of poetry. Phyllis was captured in West Africa and taken to Boston in 1761. Her name Phyllis comes from the name of the ship that she arrived in. Her owners taught her how to read and write in English, and she mastered the language in less than 2 years. She then went on to learn Greek and Latin. The African Genius's first poem to ever appear on print was called On Messrs. Hussey and Coffin in 1767. This piece was about sailors escaping disaster. Wheatley traveled to London in May of 1773 with the son of her owners. Her first book, Poems on Various Subjects, Religious and Morale, where many of her very first pieces were printed, was published in London in 1773. Wheatley was a supporter of the American Revolution and was known across the Atlantic as one of the first African-American abolitionists and global poets, and her memory lives on today as such. When she was free, she worked as a server for the remainder of her life and died in poverty in Boston. May she rest in power and peace. Thank you for listening, and I hope you join us for the rest of the month for poetry from the present and from the past.
Being rejected and immediately turning to racism. Alright, so first of all, everything that lady said was extremely ignorant, but what flabbergasted me the most was when she said that she knows where her grandparents and great-grandparents came from. Ma'am, just how long do you think black people have been in America? This reminds me of that one girl that said Martin Luther King was the first black man and freed the slaves. How is it possible for people to be this misinformed? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this opportunity to educate anyone that might be misinformed, like the lady in this video. Let's start with some simple math. Let's say the year is 1900 and 2 people have a kid. That's already 2 generations right there. Let's fast forward 20 years and now that kid has a kid. That's already 3 generations, and we're only in the year 1920. Right, that kid already knows who his grandparents are. But let's keep going. Let's go to the year 1940 now, and that kid has a kid. That's already 4 generations. 1960, 5 generations. 1980, 6 generations, all the way to 2000. 100 years, you have a potential 7 generations. If you didn't know, black people have been here way before the year 1900. Black people were here before America was even founded as a country. So yes, we know where our grandparents and great-grandparents come from. Now, are there people that for whatever reason don't know who their biological parents are and therefore don't know who their family is? Absolutely, but that can literally happen to anyone. And funny enough, if you're an American and for whatever reason you don't know about your family history, you can probably very easily find out because America does a pretty good job at keeping family records. You can probably go back centuries, which is a lot better than...
Okay, now let's answer Miss Mama specifically. We're gonna answer this topic, and we're also, let's talk Dominican Top, come in the room. Dominican Top, come in the room and sit down next to me because I want to talk to y'all for real, for real. Me asking that child if he knows anything about Haiti, let me explain to you what kind of district I come from. My school district sends out their communications in English, Spanish, and Creole. I'm a history teacher. If you as a minority living in America or living anywhere in this world, in the parameters of this world, but specifically America, if you cannot comprehend the importance of Haitian history and the plight of the minority in America, your history teachers have failed you. Whoever you was your favorite history teacher in your heart, I really hope your favorite subject was math, because they failed you.
What's this one?
Haitian history is African American history. Haitian history is American history. For your response to that video to be, well, he's Dominican, what does he need to know about Haiti? Foolishness. Oh, well, Americans don't know anything about Canada and Mexico. You should know. You should know. You should know. The same people who said that, I know you don't have no passport. I know you don't go anywhere. I know you go to Miami. Your idea of the best vacation ever has to be Miami or Atlantic City. I know you. I know you're kind. I know your type. Okay? Knowing the kind of history that's going to be important for you really to understand why the idea of Black Lives Matter, the idea of perpetuated racism in our judicial system and discrimination in our education system. This is all just a base. I'm just scratching the surface, but you gotta wake up. If you had an ignorant response, wake up. The video simply asks, what do you know about Haiti? What do you know about the Haitian culture? It doesn't ask you who's better. It doesn't ask you, it's not a quiz. You're not getting graded on it. He wasn't person. And I covered his face because I didn't want him to be embarrassed. Because if you really follow me, you know I posted that with that child's face on it. But then I saw your reaction and I was like, let me preserve his innocence. Let me preserve his innocence and not ruin his youth. Because most of my students follow me on TikTok. And it's not because I'm funny. It's because I'm pretty much their favorite person. Like, I'm their best. I'm like the best teacher there.
Let's talk about it, because a lot of y'all showing your complete ignorance in this creator's comments, and what she is saying is absolutely actual and absolutely factual. Do you not think it's a coincidence that in the United States of America, in their education system, they don't teach you about the first liberated Black nation in the Western Hemisphere? So I guess I'm gonna have to just give you the education for that ass. And we're going to talk about Haiti and why Haiti is African American history and American history. Because Google is your friend, I'm going to let y'all pause to read. But first, let's go down here and read this part. Despite the landmark event, the United States did little to respond to the Haitian Revolution. In fact, its silence is very telling. It was frightened because the Haitian Revolution threatened its economic interests. Southern plantation owners, fearful of revolts from their own slaves, worked to prevent their slaves from learning of the Haitian Revolution. Surprise, surprise. But one of the biggest reasons why Haitian history is also African American history is because of the Louisiana Purchase, which was an effect of the Haitian Revolution. This article from Hîst0ry.com about the Louisiana Purchase says this: the Louisiana Purchase was one of history's greatest bargains, a chance for the United States to buy what promised to be one of France's largest and wealthiest territories and eliminate a European threat in the process. But the purchase was also fueled by a slave revolt in Haiti, and tragically, it ended up expanding slavery in the United States. And if you look up here, New Orleans, Louisiana slave market was the largest and most lucrative in the pre-Civil War United States. How big was the Louisiana Purchase? This entire green area and the port of New Orleans right there, which guaranteed a huge port for the buying and selling of enslaved people and the expansion of slavery throughout that green area, although the Missouri Compromise stopped that. Money, money, money for the United States of America. And obviously, chattel slavery is going to expand because that was literally the foundation of American wealth. And that's just the start of how Haitian history is also African American and American history. There's so much more that we could touch on here, but I only got 3 minutes. By the way, there's a whole population of people in New Orleans of Haitian descent. And actually, I think B1ack is one of them. Hold on. Oh, yeah, Beyonce's Haitian. Her grandparents were of Haitian descent. If that's not African American history, Beyonce's Haitian, then I don't know what is, bro. Chill.
I'm so tired of y'all on these slave myths and narratives. Come to find out from one of our own independent researchers, Carter G. Woodson's, Black people were the slave owners. We have a list here compiled from the census in the 1830s. More than 3,777 American Negroes owned slaves, mainly in Louisiana, the state with the most black slave owners. This number more than doubled by the 1840s. But these were the good masses. Whenever you hear that, that was the black slave owners. But they was enslaving their own family members. I know. They would go purchase these women off the plantations. And the Kevin Samuels of his day said, don't you just go give her freedom because she's married now. You wait about 2-3 years. You know, if she don't submit, if she ain't good in bed, throw her right back into the slave trade. And that's what a lot of them did. Making about, with today's inflation rate, $25,000 for its day. But some of y'all was so happy when y'all thought y'all had white slave owners' surnames. Come to find out, those were black slave owners. That's why y'all had them surnames. So we have the proof right here. It's all listed. So y'all can drop a lot of them slave narratives. Look, the list still going. Look, the list. That's a shame, y'all. But.
Hey, y'all ready for more things in American history that we just don't talk about and pretend it never happened? Have you ever heard of buck breaking? Warning, proceed with caution. Buck breaking was sexual violence against enslaved black men. As a form of punishment, slave masters, or just white supremacists, would commit sexual violence against an enslaved man in front of his family, his friends, the entire town, as a way to not only dehumanize, but to humiliate him in front of everybody. The slave would be tied up, flogged, and then raped. Sometimes the slave owner would emasculate the man himself, or sometimes he would have a male slave do it to another male slave. As a result, of course, many of the men who were violated could not or had a hard time returning back or socializing with their family and friends. So they would either commit suicide or run away and never come back. And once again, the black male was removed from the household. And although this was more popular in the Caribbean, yes, it did happen in the United States too. Like and follow for more.
Any race other than the one you currently are, which would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. How can I be? I don't know how to be anything other than black, so.
What's one thing that you take pride in about being black?
Well, my dad's Ethiopian, so one thing that I do have that a lot of black Americans don't have is a sense of knowing where you come from, so I do take pride in that.
That I'm most proud of is that my parents didn't have to flee across oceans in order for me to have basic human necessities, great education opportunities, and to not live in a society that's torn down by poverty and war. That sounds ignorant, doesn't it? What she said in the reverse is just as ignorant. Black Americans are the reason why your parents are even able to come to America and have their humanity. And the reason why you're able to have the great opportunities you have. We did that. Our forefathers fought for those rights. Humble yourself.
Did you know that every year Black History Month has a theme? Last year's theme was Black Health and Wellness. The year before's theme was Black Families. This year's theme is resistance. Resistance indicating that we need to find ways in our everyday lives to disrupt systemic oppression.
African Americans really do not embrace their culture, and it is very, very worrying. How can I ask you where you're from and you tell me the state? You don't even know what ethnicity you are. You don't even know what country you originally come from. That is mad to me.
Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you have not yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to leave your comment down below. Thank you for watching to the end and stay blessed.